I had to replace my favorite ratty black sweater that I had for many years because it fell
don't
apart.
you hate that?
So so I have to break in a whole new one. So and I felt
love
the
it.
gray would help me stand out better against the black back.
It looks awesome. It looks very professional and very funky and earthy at the same time.
Oh, and I love the colors in yours. I love the
this little Amish fireplace here.
I love the fireplace.
I got that. I had a problem with a very cold studio room. That's because it seems as if this room has the furniture placed in very odd ways. So I had to compromise with the Amish fireplace. They had a special deal. For $150, you could get yourself a little Amish fireplace. We also have 2 other ones in our room, but it seems in the living room and in my office studio. So I want a
screensaver behind me, just doing stuff somehow.
Well, I really like the black there. It looks really super cool, but I ended up joining something called Video Blocks, and it's supposed to have all kinds of interesting little scenes like waterfalls and planetary things. And
if this was a green screen, I could do a lot with it, maybe.
Well, it looks nice the way it is. I'm seeing a little hair right here. It's crazy.
It's thing. It's just a curtain, and my studio is my office, and I have a lot of equipment in here, and files, and just it looks like an insane place, and this is a very simple solution. I have it's a narrow room, so I could use pressure rods to hang my curtains if I need to.
It's all part of podcasting. Podcasting is an interesting phenomena that has happened. And, back to the old blog talk radio days, podcasting started out just audio. And then when it progressed to like Mr. Bill's with Achieve TV and then now it seems like even the most elite celebrities now have podcasts. So if you have a podcast that does not necessarily low class you, it's actually becoming quite popular.
Well, it doesn't take much to create an illusion with the close-ups and cameras,
right? And I can't. And they say, there's a multitude of news people wearing suit coats on the top and their underwear, or there's jogging pants on the bottom half.
Oh, well, I am wearing trousers. Yeah, I would not feel right doing.
Well, I'm just teasing, but it is true. There's a lot of people out there that are, not necessarily dressed on the bottom half of them, and we'd probably all be shocked, just like we'd be shocked if we saw the rest of our studio room. But for this show, for every show, we have our little corners that we can do any way we want. I want to say,
absolutely,
hi
and it's
to
all
Pat.
about. Yeah, but you have to have a sense of theater.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
I want to say hi to Patty from New York, and we're going to take her in a second. And also, I did want to discuss a few things today. One of them is does combining Reiki and massage therapy or balancing with holistic, combined with, not replacing, but combined with traditional, help the healing process faster. I also wanted to discuss, and I thought maybe you could kind of go into this. They say that there are more and more studies on the soothing winter qualities of a good basic chicken broth or beef broth how those things can be so good for colds and things like that. And, so just maybe whatever topics that we can come up with at the same time. Excuse me, we have a dog fight going on inside our house here. So I am just going to see if we can take Patty first. How about that?
Right.
Should we take Patty?
Certainly.
Did you hear the dog fight in the background?
Yeah. I have to say, considering that we have a couple of people here and 2 dogs, it's rather quiet.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about that because I figure this is life. That's just how it is, man.
We have a new pup that has grown up to my hip, and he is Great Pyrenees, and so now we are dealing with not the pack leadership things going on over food and bones.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say that Patty is somebody who's always been rather disciplined.
Hello.
Hi. Patty.
Oh, actually, I started to read her before she even asked the question. Wouldn't it be interesting if I just read what I saw without her asking anything? What would happen if I did that? I wonder what kind of a reading that would turn out to be.
Let's see if Joseph can read you without you even saying anything.
And then you can ask, and then Anne-Marie can answer your question. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But I'm seeing, what I pulled up for basically is your past or a rather current influence in your life. And it's sort of like it's the 9 of Pentacles, and that means that you've always watched out for your financial interests rather well. I mean, you probably had a savings account at an early age, and you probably had little jobs, and you've always managed to make money, and you've always watched over. You've taken good care of your possessions in life. You're one of those people that are careful with things, and you probably have things from a long time ago, even maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm seeing that at the present time, we have here the 5 of Wands, and wands always symbolize work, usually, because it is a work tool. And I would have to say that sometimes it's almost like it's telling you sometimes you might feel like you are being pushed into doing something underhanded to get something through. It's not really like something really dishonest, but it's sort of like you're kind of put in a position where you kind of have to fight.
Something quickly?
Yeah.
Yes. What it is in my job, there's a lot of problems. The week of Christmas, I took off because I was sick, and then when I come back, I'm a data entry person. When I came back, the data that I was supposed to do while I was out, if I wasn't sick, wasn't done, and all hell broke loose. And it's like I didn't want my job to be in jeopardy, but it's like the work that they were supposed to give me, they were supposed to give me on a weekly basis. They didn't. They gave it all to me at once, and now everybody's upset. The director of another department is very upset because I was out sick, and even had the nerve to tell my supervisor that I should be called into work when I was still sick.
Yeah.
So it was your present, work. And,
it's hassles. It's work hassles. And that's what's being shown at the time being, is that you have this big hassle at work. And it almost seems like there's, it seems like they're out to get you, is what it feels like at this time. Now, actually, though, I would say, now coming up, I got here the 4 of Swords, and actually I am seeing that a personal battle or a battle ends. Okay, this is not going to go on and on and on and on. I do see that this symbolizes a truce of some kind in the fighting. Okay, this is going to diminish over time. You are going to all have a better understanding of this, and it's going to get better. Okay, and actually it says that I just see quiet and peace following stress.
Okay.
Sure, you might not agree with everybody all the time, and but it's gonna.
But I
It's gonna
thought it
cool.
wasn't fair when I came back from work.
Mm-hmm.
When I came back right after the New Year, that
Yeah.
the work I was supposed to be given on a weekly basis, I'm not given, and it's like.
Yeah.
And I stay overtime a lot to do the
Well, they
work.
screwed up.
But.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really
I look
easy.
like
It's
crap.
easy to be taken for granted, and then
Right.
it's not even your fault, and now it's like I'm seeing this though, according to the Four of Swords. And this is all the near future. This is like I'm seeing this as something that just kind of like, and this is probably the worst of it already. And it's just something that's every day. It's going to pass. Things will get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see now.
Patty?
I don't know. Yeah. So now you can ask your question.
I call up about my health. That's
okay.
why.
Well, we don't give health readings. As a certified psychic, it is against the law for me to give you health advice. But I can tell you, first of all, what does come up at this particular time, Patty, and I'm going to look at this energetically. It says, first of all, this feeling that you've been ripped off by people that have been totally unappreciative of you is not unnormal for you. There's a sense that you have a very powerful personality, and some people are intimidated by it. And the feeling is that you probably do a huge amount to be able to ground wherever you are. But like anyone who seems to have really strong, assertive energy, there are going to be those that try to get in your way or try to find ways to shoot you down. And my sense is
I always feel like that all my life.
And that's because you have a very powerful and a very intense personality that often makes some people feel that they are either intimidated by you or that they feel that they have to cause you to be insecure. So I think that in one way, when that happens, you can say, here we go again. This is just more crap that usually happens because I'm damn good at what I do. But it always seems as if the naysayers or the whiners are going to be the first people to cause problems for you. Now, and it's interesting that as Joseph was reading, the first thing I came up with is unfair. Unfair, and sometimes it says either a legal issue or unfair treatment. A sense that the people that are doing less and the people that are not committing as much are making you look like you're the one that is them, and they're trying to look like you. So your reading says, understand this is a drama that you probably have been going through many times in your life, and that this is just another repeat of the same old. So if I look at what is your best course of action concerning this kind of usual treatment by people intimidated by you, it says, first of all, just understand that don't feed into it. The more you feed,
and I do all the
the more you
I do that all the time.
Yeah, and that's where your mistake is, because the more you feed into it, the more you're going to get a reaction from them. They're going, we got Patty where we want her. So just pass over it. And I'm going to say this as a kind of, remember the politics with Trump and Hillary? And how the more they...
I didn't vote for both of them. I didn't want to vote because it's like, I didn't like Trump in the beginning, But the way he talks about people, it just disgusts me. Okay, he said a lot of stuff like he gave us hope in the beginning, but then he started to talk about, I'm an Italian. My parents immigrated from Italy, so I know what it's like to be a child of an immigrant born here. But the way, you can't criticize, you can't discriminate one group of people just because of the action of those few people,
I wanted to point out, remember how there came a point, whether you voted for him or not, if you paid any attention to the debates at all, how the minute that an insult went out, if one of them started to feed into that insult, then it created a worse explosion. It started to explode and explode and explode. Whereas if if one of them would just sit back and let it happen and not react, it passed over. So that's what I'm saying. You do. Just don't.
It felt like a reality show to me.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it feel like you're watching a reality show?
I know, and we are the participants of this reality show. That's very crazy.
Oh, I have a quick question for you. Do you see love coming to me this year?
Joseph, go for it.
Do I see what?
Love.
Love coming.
Love.
And I'm trying to get a book published. So right now I'm trying to get my book published so I can look forward here. Because I'm trying to get a book published this year. So it's like...
Well, for some reason
right
we got here... let's see. We
you
have
go into the book. You go into the the book.
Well, we got the Queen of Swords here for love, and what's kind of weird about it, it's more like an attitude. I'm saying that it seems like you conceal your emotions a lot, and maybe that you need to just kind of relax, and then you'll find somebody, because this way then they'll get to know the real you. When we pretend to be something or try to control you try to be a certain way, we just kind of make it harder for people to see who we really are. And a lot of times, how do we know? How can the right person find us if we're not really being true to ourselves? So that would mean don't feel like you have to be something else to please somebody else. If you feel that way with somebody that you meet, that means they're not right for you either. So, you know what I mean?
Right now,
so don't let yourself be anyone that tells you that you have to change some really important aspects about yourself that make you who you are, and everything about you is not a true person to hang with. There's always more fish in the sea. So I would say probably it's almost like just saying say no to the first one, because you can probably smell it as soon as you talk to them for a while. You can probably tell no. So so that's sort of like a little memo, okay, if you come across this one, this is a no.
Okay, Patty, what's the name of your book?
Okay, it's called Pasquale and Patrizia, a past life love relationship of two souls. Pasquale and Patrizia, a past life love relationship of two soulmates who are forever connected to each other. It's about how I believe that a retired baseball player is a love relationship in a past life. And it seems like to both of us, whenever I do something, he follows. My father died at 3:35 p.m. on November 28, 2005. So every time I see the number 335, I think about my dad. 3 years later, and I specifically go in the book how I found out that 3 years later, Pasquale buys a house with the number 335. My mother almost died in the plane going to Italy in 2012. And I found out while I was in Bordeaux, France, the plane was diverted to Bordeaux, France, because she almost died in the plane. So while my mother and I were in Bordeaux, I met people from Spain. Okay, the retired baseball player's grandparents immigrated from Spain. And I found out while I was there, I was 2 hours away by car from Spain. The year later, Pasquale decides to go to Spain because he just turned 60 and wanted to see where his grandparents immigrated from. I was 2 hours away from Spain. He finally goes a year later. Things happened that it's the weird thing that whatever I do, he follows. His daughter got married in Michigan in June 2015. This year, my youngest brother had a daughter, and when my cousin came over the house, he told us that he was in Michigan for a wedding a year later. So it's like it's weird. Whatever I do, he tends to follow.
Patty, what is this? Is this the story of your life, or is this the book?
It's both.
It's the book. It's a true life. It's a true story. How I believe.
Right. So it's a book and it's your life. Yeah, it's a true story.
Right.
Right.
It's a memoir.
It sounds like you're being led by a whole bunch of things. So like everything is like always like lining up a certain way. That it's
right. And it's like I even said at the end of the book that I believe that once I get this book published, whatever energies between me and Pasquale either is going to finally be resolved, because I don't want to keep doing this, you know. It's like my father dies at 3:35 p.m. 3 years later. He buys a house at that number. I end up in Bordeaux, France. Right? I was 2 hours away from Spain. All of a sudden, a year later, he goes to France. He goes to Spain. You know.
So you know, if this is going on from past life to past life, you know, and stuff, like I say, maybe not all of them, but like it's always something that keeps happening. And then you start to realize, okay, so this person has been probably different things to me throughout my existence so far, has been, you know, like every single kind of relationship seems to be tested. And like people find out like very often through regression. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I'm just reiterating some of the stories I've heard where somebody that they're married to used to be their child at one time, or used to be their jailer, or was their tormentor, their killer, their victim, you know, like throughout time, where it's just everything, where circumstances and time periods totally change a person's behavior. You know, you realize how much of your environment, the fact that you're born where you were at this time in history, has a huge effect on your personality than, say, if you were born, you know, in Africa or living in Islam, you know, or something. And you think about how that would change you how different you would be if you existed someplace else. And I think about, say, now maybe, say 400 years ago, say medieval Germany. Things are different, and you know, you can't imagine that life on a day-to-day basis. But actually, that was a reality at one time, and it was perfectly natural to you in that time. So I think it's really fascinating that a person could be somehow. It's like you have to work on something to resolve something about this relationship that transcends lifetimes throughout.
That's why
It's like why? It's like why do you have to? It's like, well, what is it about it that you have to work on? Which is kind of fascinating. Now, I don't know anything about your book, but it sounds really interesting. Yeah,
and actually, like my cousin's daughter has a boyfriend. And I know for a fact that this retired baseball player goes to this restaurant because he used to live in New York City. He lives in Florida now. He used to go to this restaurant, and it's very well known because I saw it in the paper. All of a sudden, I gave my cousin's daughter a copy of my book to give to her boyfriend because her boyfriend's cousin works in a publishing company. So I said, you know, let me give it to the boyfriend and let the boyfriend read it and see what he thinks. And then all of a sudden, I give them the book, and they ended up eating at the restaurant where the baseball player goes to. And he didn't know. The boyfriend. What?
The baseball player?
The retired baseball player. The retired baseball player used to go to this restaurant in New York City. He used to live in New York City. And then it was constantly in the papers about this because he was a man about town 30 years ago. And he used to talk about this restaurant. And all of a sudden, I give my book to my cousin's daughter's boyfriend. And all of a sudden, during the holidays, they went to that restaurant. And they didn't even know until I told them.
So here is what comes up on your book. It says, believe you. If you truly believe that this is a past life connection, follow your gut and don't lose the focus on trying to stay on the subject matter. Because attitude is going to mean everything about staying on focus on this book. It says it could be very successful for you, and it could be you could attract some very positive people with the right attitude. But a lot of it says it's going to be just what you're doing. Stay focused on meeting the right kind of people that have the right kind of attitude that would really get into past life. And it says whatever you do, don't lose your focus on, as long as it's not published, you can write it and rewrite it and rewrite it as many times as you want. But it says whatever you do, don't lose your focus in your book. Stay on focus. Because it says...
Okay, I understand, because it's like I keep I work on it, then I give up on it. I work on it, I am back and forth. But I promised myself I'm going on vacation on Valentine's Day. So I promised that while I'm on vacation, that's it. I'm going to a library. I'm going to get books, how to get a book published. This is it. Valentine's Day, this is it. This is the year that I promised myself that I'm going to really work on it. Not give up on it. Work on it.
Is the book finished? Is it written? Do you have a finished manuscript?
I have a manuscript. It's actually on my laptop right now.
Okay.
It's 147 pages of 8 by 10.
Is it ready to go?
Yeah, it's like I keep reading it over and over again to look for any corrections or how I wrote a sentence. It's like right now, it's like I'm going to go through it one more time before I go on vacation, and then I'm going to get books at the library, how to get your book published.
Well, I'm going to tell you, both Joseph and I are authors ourselves. And I can tell you most definitely that the most difficult part with any publisher is you can write to 1 million publishers, and it won't matter if it's the first book you've ever written, because they hardly look at it if it's your first book. Because they figure you need to have a book or two. There's a magic number, 10,000 copies, before a real professional publisher will look at a book. They want to see 10,000 copies put out before they do. And therefore, if you really truly focused on this book, first of all, it sounds like it could even be a series, because right now series books are really, really popular. So I
actually had a dream several years ago. I saw 2 books, and I believe that whatever when I finally get my book published, the second book will be about what happened after I published, like what happened between myself and Pasquale. What was the energy finally released? It's like that's what I think the second book will be about. Like what happened after it got published. Like did anything happen between me?
Always remember to take your time with expressing your thought, because like don't try to cram everything into one book. Sometimes it's like what, half of this can be expanded. Yeah, it's like you have to realize it's also a common mistake where everyone wants to say so much in a very short space, and it doesn't allow the reader to really process things. So it's like take your time with the book, and actually don't be in such a rush where it's like I gotta get it published now. Is that make sure it's really, really, it might help to listen to it. There are programs, I think, in just about any word processing program that you might have on your computer, that you could have a computer read it back to you. And while you're looking at it.
I read it out loud to myself.
Yeah, but it also helps to have something that's not you reading it back.
The problem with editing your own stuff and reading your own stuff,
you have to hear it from somebody else's mouth in order to really catch any mistakes.
You're not catching the thing
your mind repairs. Your mind will automatically correct whatever you have wrong on your page because you know what you meant to say. Okay.
Right.
But the person, that's why it helps to have a computer program that kind of sounds human, read it back, because I'll tell you, if that thing can't recognize something, or if it sounds stupid, you're going to notice it right away because that thing's going to choke up. It's going to sound really, you're going to get it better, especially as someone who doesn't know where you're going with it. Trying to read it. So that's why it's really helpful to listen to it with
I think that we need to get on to the next reading.
All right. Thank you so much.
But thank you so much, and we wish you luck on this book. And stay on course and stay focused. I think you'll do great.
Do you know anybody in the publishing world that can help me?
No, because like anybody else, I had to go with self-publishing. A lot of people, if you are going to publish your first book, what you want to do is you're either going to have to go self-publishing or you're going to have a really rich backer. There is no easy way about going publishing. It's become so many people are writing right now and so many people are publishing that you have to be really patient about either waiting till you find your backer that can back you, that is another writer. If you can find another famous writer or somebody that believes in your book, that would be one way. Otherwise, you may have to go like a lot of people, which is through Amazon or self-publishing.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For everything.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I'm afraid. Bye. Joseph, are you still there? I think Joseph froze on us. I'm not sure. But I am going to go to the next person in our room, and that person's name is Linda. Linda has a question for Joseph and me, and it says, "Hi to you both. Can I have a relationship reading on Patrick? We have been together a while, and the most honest, the better this reading can be appreciated." So, Linda, the first thing I'm going to do is look at Joseph's energy, and then I will look at your energy. So looking at Joseph, that can't be it. I'm still thinking about Joseph. I think you said Patrick. Looking at Patrick. And when I look at Patrick's energy in this relationship, this is what comes through. Patrick at this time, it says, and please understand that I'm just going to, you asked me to be honest with you. Patrick has gone through some problems in a past relationship or two that have caused him to lose faith in love. There is a sense that he may sometimes either kind of give mixed messages, where sometimes he seems to want to go 100 miles an hour, and other times it seems like he's completely backed off and has lost his focus. Here's what Patrick needs most to believe in a relationship between you and him: friendship. It says, by building a strong best friend relationship with you, even if it seems like sometimes he's pushing and pulling at the same time, he's searching for a best friend in a love, friendship relationship. If I look at how does Patrick feel about you, and it says that Patrick at this time is seen as feeling that he's happy, very happy that you are the dream come true woman for him. He also feels sometimes as if this little sense of caution about him is something that he can't seem to get out of. It's like a little prison bars around him, and he knows it's not necessarily coming off real great for you at times, but you are everything that Patrick is looking for in a woman, and I show that he truly wants to give his all. He just has those little scars in him. If I look at you and I look at where is your energy at this time, and looking at that, your energy is seen as very grounded. You are seen as that nice, neutral, positive energy that Patrick needs. You understand tough times. It's not like you haven't seen a few yourself. And you sometimes find that you want to slap Patrick right in the face because his mixed messages of push and pull can really, truly be kind of a pain in the ass. But on the other hand, if you look over that and you, hi Joe, and you realize that the friendship, and you realize the friendship angle of this is important, I want to say that Linda wants to know about Patrick, and she says they've been a while together, and she wants an honest reading on Patrick's feelings for her. And I told her that Patrick's had some scars in past relationships, but that he really loves her, but he also has a lot of push and pull going on at the same time, and that what he's searching for is a friendship love scenario, and he needs her to be as much a friend as a lover. So what do you come up with?
I'm seeing that a lot of past success, like say, what I got here for the past is the Ace of Pentacles, and it's a major influence that of just a very prosperous time, financially and even monetarily, like a time when you have everything that you need, you have everything that you want, and I'm seeing that as something that's an influence, because that's how it's like that's where you've come from, or that's how it should be. But I am seeing that at the present time, there might be some lack of concentration, sometimes. But, I'm seeing that you might have a tendency to feel overwhelmed in the near future with Patrick, yeah, you might feel kind of restricted in some way, but you have to understand that there's ups and downs, and when you ask the question, the question would be, does Patrick care for me? And it's the same words, it's Patrick does care for me. So, yeah, this is definitely in sync with Anne-Marie, I think. Really, it's just that you just have to realize, dark clouds will pass, and they will,
And yep. And I would add to that at this particular time, your best course of action is try to understand that he does care about you very, very much. But also understand that sometimes when you give more than you're getting back with Patrick, he can have two reactions to that. Part of him may see that as amazing, and other times he may go into cautionary attitude. But I think that he can't imagine life without you at this time.
But you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing at the present time, though, that there's this great distraction regarding him at this time. I mean, it's like there seems like there's a lot going on in his head. I mean, like really a lot of things to think about at this time, and like there's some obstacles and stuff, and maybe he just doesn't have some ideas, or he's trying to come up with ideas, or something. But it's just it just seems to be he seems to be at this time very distracted. So. But I don't think there's anything that you can do about that. He's going to have to work that out. But I think, like I said, it's just one of those things where he's not if you have doubts, well, not everybody is going to have good periods all the time.
Joseph,
yeah.
I want to say that we have bunches of people in the InQuick.
Oh, great!
So we have to do some flash readings.
Cool.
We have 11 minutes left.
Well, Linda, I hope that helps.
Yeah, so let's go to Sunny. Sunny wants a 3-month financial reading. And if I look at that, and I'm just going to quick throw down 3 cards for financial. The first card is January, the second card is February, and the third card is March. And January is seen as a month where you need to be very cautious about internet shopping or spending too much. February is seen as a month where you better watch out for your finances, because I don't see a lot of people being supportive of you if you try to spend too much or if you need to go to a bank. However, March is seen as very receptive. Maybe that's because of a tax return, or maybe that's just things start to come open. So I'm showing a 3-month prediction with March as your open month for finances. What do you have?
Well, I'm seeing a horrific past, but also, that's something that is there, but I'm saying that that's in the past, but it is an influence. But be warned of get-rich-quick things, and be warned of scams and schemes and things that you think might solve your problem, because they're all designed to take your money and make a problem worse. So stick to traditional methods of getting money. Get a job. Really.
Michael,
to do something legit. Also, I do see a break coming. Hang in there. I do see a break in what you think might be a downward spiral. I do see it coming in the near future, so hang in there and stay away from
Hello, Michael. How are you? Hi, Michael, from New Jersey.
Hey, Michael.
Hello, hi.
Hi, what can we do for you?
So
flash reading today.
Yeah, so I'm at a crossroads. I don't know if I should put my emotional energies and partnership with either Gloria, Allie, or Tracy. It's just so hard, and I'm trying to figure it out.
That's going to take more than 5 minutes, yeah. I guess I would say, why don't you, if I look at
I do see, the Four of Wands tells me that you're going to work this out. I do see that you're going to get some creative goal and project going here, and I do see that you're working toward. I do see a reward for your work. Okay, but as for, I'm seeing your current decision as, oh my God, but the thing is, you're going to make the right choice. This is really funny. I can't tell you which one it is, though. But I am seeing that you are going to pick well. I mean, go with your gut feeling and go with what you know. If this is something that, if this person has the qualities needed that you really need for this, that are, there's more, there's the price of everything, and then there's the price, and then there's the value of things. Okay, so you have to think about be realistic and go with your gut feeling. You'll be all right.
Give me the first name. Michael, give me the first name.
Tracy. Then Gloria.
Wait a minute. Wait. Tracy. No. Just Tracy. So I'm looking at Tracy, and I'm going to look at what energy comes up. No. I said Tracy is not honest with you about, or you're not honest with her about something. And so give me the second name.
Allie.
Allie. If I look at Allie, what comes up is no. Allie is not necessarily somebody that is right for you. Give me
neither
the third
one.
And Gloria.
Gloria. So I'm looking at Gloria, and if I look at Gloria, and it says yes.
Gloria, hallelujah.
She will be somebody that you can be debt-free and live an affluent and healthy life with, it says. So Gloria seems to be somebody that would do well with you. That's what I have, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes. Thanks. We are together. But the cool thing is I am very creative. I have like a reality show that I've been working on. I'm reading Soulful Alchemist, which is on creativity and get over writer's block. So you hit that right on the head. I draw pictures all the time using art flow, like paintings, which I sell as prints. And I create computer code. on a regular basis. So
cool.
your creativity link was so right on, and thank you for that.
Oh, great. You're welcome.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a great day.
So, good job on that. So, we're looking at Rebecca from Oklahoma, who says, "Can you take a look if there is growth for me at the job I'm in? Its initials are MP. Repeat, MP." So, looking at, is there growth for a flash reading for Rebecca at MP?
Well, I do see that I see things no matter what's going on now. And I won't get into that because, obviously it's not, you have a doubt. But I'm going to say it's the workout because there's a very popular and interesting woman that is going to make things really work out better there at this place. This could be a boss. It could be one of the administrators. I see like a planner, somebody who is really, really does know their stuff and is very organized, is very, methodical, has a way. And I do see that that's a very positive thing. And
I would add to that you don't have to worry about this, Rebecca, because it says, first of all, like Joseph says, you have to have faith in this and try not to. It says first of all, your intuitive abilities to feel out what's going on around you and your attitude are very nice, very good. Mm-hmm. And I'm showing that you have an excellent attitude and that there is a lot of faith in you. So I believe that you will see growth in this for your job at MP. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Susan says from Massachusetts says, I am working a job that I am having some difficulty with. Do you see someone else coming to me for work? So that sounds like she's I'm not clear if this is her own job.
Well, I do see things like say legal or contracts, something to do with contracts, business contracts, even things that I do see anything that you have, anything that has been wronged to somebody is going to be corrected, is going to be worked out. So if you're the one who's been gypped, or you're the one who's been waiting for payment or waiting for something to go through, and this, I do see it happening in your favor. Understand, though, it's a judgment card, so it's judgment for everybody. Okay.
I think I would add to that it says communication is coming soon.
Yeah, it's going to work out.
That is coming soon with somebody, and it's actually something you don't have to sweat about. It seems to be coming by itself, and it says, first of all, you may have to be a little more flexible about the conditions that you have been putting forth. If this is your job, your specific job, and you're having difficulty with it, and as far as someone coming to you for work, I would say yes, like Joseph says, within the next 2 weeks to 2 months, I see communication coming about another job or someone else coming that will help you resolve this situation. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Maria,
it's like a judgment or decisions being made for her already, and it's going to happen.
Maria says, hello, Anne-Marie and Joseph. I would like to know if you see a romance for me this year.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Mm-hmm. I do see at the present time, I do see that there's a current, somebody current or happening, huh? I do see it.
I'm sorry, tomorrow. Excuse me.
I see it happening now. I see it at the present time that there is something there. And I do see two people finally even becoming closer to each other. I see a relationship deepening, or even recently having just deepened, or certainly going to deepen very soon. It's all very nice. It's all very organic. It's very, very nice. I do see that happening at the present time. And I do see that, well, I'll tell you, it's...
Mara, yeah. I would add to that, get over what you lost already. There looks like there's somebody that you were very, very, very intensely romantic with.
Yeah.
And that is over. So when you ask, is there someone coming? Honey, it's not the one from the past. Understand that's over, that's done, that's a closed book. I see someone coming.
This guy's going to be different. This guy's going to be different. It's not the same one.
Okay, we got to go quick here, so we're going to go to Emily. Emily says, do you see me finding another job? I am planning on quitting the job I'm in. And we have 1 minute. Yes
for one thing, I'm seeing don't quit until you have the new job. But I am seeing that if you put your powers to good, you will find a job. But do not quit, because the job that you currently have and the fact that you are employed is essential to finding the next job. Okay, so that's the only thing you need to worry about. Do not just quit your job and say, will I find another one? Because you are cutting your throat by quitting a job and going out there with nothing. It suddenly devalues you, because they could choose from a great number of people who are already...
Wise words, Joseph. We got to go. So
but
thank you
so much,
everybody.
You can find a job, yes.
And I see 2 months, you'll have a job. So, great. Thank you, everybody. Come back next Wednesday. Adrian Austin, Brass Buckle, or
Take
Brass
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Odell at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestry pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call for you. After the show, I invite you to come on over to thecallingoflight.com. I offer PayPal readings at 15-minute or 30-minute sections of time. All yours. To thecallingoflight.com.
Looking for answers to life's difficult questions? Are you looking for a way to heal? Are you seeking spiritual guidance? Come visit us at angelstoguideyou.com.